What's up, everyone? All right, so in this episode, I'm going to answer that question that so many of you guys have been asking: how much money do I need in order to start day trading? And what I've also done is I've put together a few case studies of my students who have taken small accounts and turned those small accounts into full day trading accounts and an ability to live life completely on their own terms, thanks to learning the strategies that I teach. So as you go through this video or as you watch the case studies in the link below, one of them is a podcast of a mentor session that one of my students is now teaching to beginner traders who are at the very beginning of their journey. So as you're going through all of that, if you have questions, if you have comments, please leave them below. I personally respond to every question and comment posted on my channel. And as always, I hope you guys really enjoy this episode, and please give me the thumbs up if you do. All right, let's get into it. How much money do you need in your account to start day trading? That is the most popular question that beginner traders will ask me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip that around on you, and I'm gonna ask you two questions. Number one, what's your daily goal? How much money in a perfect world are you wanting to make each day as a trader? All right, now let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you say $100. All right, extra $100 a day would do the trick. All right. Now, the second question is, how much money do you have to start day trading with? Now, this is a big variable because some of you guys are going to say, well, I've only got $500, maybe 1,000. Some of you are kind of, in the middle, maybe 3,000 to 5,000. And some of you guys, you've got bigger accounts, so you're going to be, maybe 10 to 25 or 25,000 and up. Now, why did I break it down into these categories? Well, February 27, 2001, the PDT rule was enacted. And the PDT rule states that you must maintain a minimum account balance of $25,000 if you want to day trade more than 3 times a week. Now, there's ways around it, and there's ways you can work within the PDT rule. So if you've already got 25,000 or more, then you don't even really have to worry about that. You can start day trading right away, even if your goal is only $100 a day. But for those of you guys down here or in here, and this is where I was when I was getting started, you've got a $500,000 account size, or that's how much you think you can put towards trading. Well, how are you going to work with this? You can only trade, according to the PDT rule, 3 times a week. That's going to be really hard to grow a small account. To give you context, when I did my last small account challenge, I took $583 and turned it into over 100 grand in 45 days. And I traded an average of 3 times a day. 3 times each day, 15 times a week. So that means I was trading 5 times more than someone who is restricted by the PDT rule. Now, it doesn't mean you couldn't trade in a cash account and work within the PDT rule. You certainly can. But I grew my account 5 times faster. So how did I do that? Well, you've got 2 types of brokers. You've got your onshore domestic brokers, US brokers, and these are going to be brokers like TD Ameritrade. Good catch, thank you. Good, nice compliment also. These are going to be brokers like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers. And then you've got your offshore brokers, and the offshore brokers are kind of interesting. Most of them are located in the Caribbean. There's a couple that are in Europe. They'll accept US accounts. US traders can trade there. That is at least the case as of today. And what's interesting is that because they're located offshore in the Caribbean, they're not in the United States, they don't enforce the PDT rule. So you can open a day trading account with $500. Now, let's just say, all things the same, that you could trade with $500. So actually, let's go up to 1,000. So in terms of your daily goal, you've got your daily goal of 100 a day. What I want to do is I want to multiply that by 10. $1,000. That is what I would say would be your minimum account size if you're over here in order to hit that $100 a day goal. And there's a reason for that. Over here, if you set up an account with $1,000, most of these brokers will give you a minimum of 4 times leverage. So that means times 4. So that means you can day trade with $4,000. Some of them will even give you up to 6 times. That means you could day trade with up to $6,000. So let's just think about that for a second. You've set up a $1,000 trading account. Your goal is $100 a day. That's 10%. You're trying to grow the account 10% each day. However, you're allowed to day trade with at least $4,000. Okay, so $4,000. let's say you see a stock that's priced at $3.50. $3.50. You buy 1,000 shares. How much money do you have in the trade? $3,500. $3,500 in the trade. Now 1,000 is your own money. The other 2,500 you're basically borrowing from the broker. They don't make you pay interest or anything like that when you day trade. So you can go ahead and borrow that money, you take a day trade, and then you close it. You, of course, have to manage risk and be really mindful about where your max loss is. We talk about that a lot in risk management. So right here, you've got $3.50 by 1,000 shares. Now the stock goes up to $3.60 by 1,000 shares equals $3,600, and you have just made $100, just like that. Now, if this goes up to $370, $380, you might end up making $300, $400, $500 with an account that has just $1,000 in it. What I always kind of say for beginner traders is that if you can get 10 cents a day out of the market, you're doing well. 10 cents a day. 10 cents, and that's per share, and that's going to be on a stock like this. $350 to $360, that's $100 with 1,000 shares, and you can do it with a $1,000 balance. Now, of course, if you can put $3,000 to $5,000 in, then you can multiply that by 3, 4, or 5. And now you're looking at $300, $400, $500 a day. And literally, I took $583 and turned it into over $100,000 in 45 days, trading an average of 3 times a day. All right, so 5 times as much as you could trade over here. Now, if you're on this side, you've got 2 options. All right, option number 1 would be you trade with a cash account. So I know some of you guys are going to say, hey Ross, why go over here and trade offshore when you can just trade in the US with a cash account and then you don't need to maintain the $25,000 minimum balance? Hey, problem solved, right? Not so fast. Here's the problem with a cash account. Cash account means that when you take a trade, so let's just say for instance, you have a $1,000 cash account. All right, you've got a cash account. All you can do is trade with that $1,000. What you don't get is the times 4. You don't get the leverage. You don't get the margin and the buying power. So all you have is the $1,000. Now, if you take a trade, obviously this stock at $3.50, you're not going to be able to buy 1,000 shares. You're going to be able to buy 250 or something like that. You're obviously going to be really restricted. Now with 250 shares, you get in it at $3.50, it's got to go all the way up to $3.90 in order for you to make, just about $100. That's 40 cents per share. That's a 10% move on that stock. On the other hand, over here, this trader was able to make the same $100 on not a 10% move, but like a 2% move because they're using leverage. Now, certainly, you can trade here. You can trade a cash account, but the other problem is not only do you only have the $1,000, but every time you take a day trade, you've got to wait 2 days for that trade to settle. It's kind of like waiting for a check to clear the bank. You've got to wait 2 days before you can trade with that money again. So what's really the difference between trading the $1,000 here or the $1,000 here with a margin account? All right, so on this side, we've got the margin account. Now with the margin account, you put in $1,000, okay? And most brokers will give you at least 2 times leverage on that money. 2 times leverage. So you've got now $2,000, all right? Not bad. The only thing is, you can only trade 3 times a week until you cross that $25,000 mark. Now you've got your leverage, so you'll be able to grow the account a little faster. And if a stock is really, really hot, we have one of those days where, a stock is at $2 and then goes up to $2.50, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, you could trade that stock 3 times in one day, and you might be able to make $500, $1,000, or even $2,000 in one day using up all 3 of your trades. But then you can't trade again for another 5 days. So my 2 cents is that if I have a small account, and you guys know obviously I do small account challenges, the fastest way to grow the account is right here. I've got leverage and I'm unrestricted in terms of the number of day trades I can take. I can take as many as I want. Now if I really want to challenge myself, if I want to stick with a US broker, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, I can do that too, and that's a little bit of a different challenge. It's going to be a little slower. I'm going to have to really focus on A quality setups, but it can be done. Now, course, if you're one of those traders that has $25,000 plus, making $100 a day, well, you can do all of this with that account. The only thing that I would say is that since you really only need about $1,000 or $2,000 to make $100 a day, the extra 24 grand, it's not really doing much. So if you put that $24,000 into almost any ETF, or you put it into a dividend paying stock, then you could earn money on your money while actively day trading with the small amount of money that you really need to trade. All right, so I hope this helps you guys understand how much you really need in order to start day trading. I would say it really comes back to your daily goal. What's your daily goal? If it's 50 a day, if it's 100 a day, if it's 200 a day, multiply that by 10, and that'll get you trading right over here, doing really well. Now, if your daily goal is $100 a day, and you're going to be on the margin side over here, under 25,000, well, now you're going to have to move that up a little bit. I would say if your goal here is 100 a day and you're planning on trading with the US account and you're going to be on this path right here, you're probably going to need closer. I would probably take this down to realistically more like times 50. You're really probably going to need closer to $4,000 or $5,000 in order to make that $100 a day consistently. And ultimately, it's going to be a couple of trades a week where you total $500 a week. So it's going to take a little bit more work. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you up for the challenge? I don't know. You tell me. All right. Questions, comments? Leave them down below. As always, I respond to every question and comment posted on the channel. And I'll see you guys for the next episode. If you want to learn more about trading? Check out some of the links in my description. And if you have questions, ask them in the comments. I personally respond to every question posted on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe.